tools.
Yeah.
Let's say there's a kid who's watching this episode and he sees we're talking about pornography and the challenges that come with it. He's in the thick of it.
Yeah.
But he's also in a space where he's not going to go talk to the bishop. He's not going to go and look up Fisi Moleni's office number and come straight to you.
Yeah.
Right? He's just not ready for that level of help yet, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
What are some tools that you would tell him to look at and consider?
Well, if this individual is struggling to connect with anyone, because I mean that would be ideal, is to have a support system, because you're and I have to explain this when you're dealing with your own tendencies and the reinforcement of behavior over time, you're basically you're going up against Mike Tyson on a daily basis.
Whew. In his prime.
Yes.
This is in the
his
90s prime.
You're talking about your carnal side. The natural part of who you are has been reinforced over so many instances, over so many acting out experiences that, bro, in those moments, you just went from, being stable, capable to like a small little child going up against Mike Tyson.
That's a crazy analogy.
And I think
that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it does, right?
Yeah.
And so I think, if they're not willing to share this with anyone else, then the next step is boundaries. First and foremost, you need to cut off your source. And so get rid of social media. And some people's like, I can't do without it. No, you need to do without it, because that's crucial. That is your candy store. That's where you have all your lollies and candies and Cadbury's and all the different chocolates and confectionery stuff that you enjoy, right? And so you need to limit yourself. You need to create a goal of, okay, within this week, I'm going to stay off of this social media site or these things, and I'm going to also recognize that my smartphone, which is the doorway and the pathway to immediate pleasure by the press of a button or a swipe, needs to also have boundaries, because you're not going to overcome it. There's no way in this world you're going to overcome so many moments of reinforcement on that phone. Your mind, the portion of your brain, which is the limbic system, the midbrain, has been reinforced and associates this smartphone as opportunity. Late at night, by myself, with my phone. You may not even have had a plan to act out. But because that's the prime moment for you to be susceptible to temptation. And who else is there alongside your reinforced brain? The adversary.
Yep.
And he likes to pull strings, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so again, if a person is not going to reach out to a support person, then they need to limit themselves to the source. Filters, getting rid of social media, putting their cell phone outside of the room for the nighttime, because I'm sure that a lot of their acting out moments, which for most cases with my clients, is at night by themselves in their room, or when they wake up the next day, right in the morning. And in some aspects, it's become a coping mechanism. It's a moment of euphoria. It's a moment of pleasure. It's an escape. It's a numbing of emotional pain if there's stuff going on. It's easy access. It's a lot more convenient than walking outside and getting fresh air and breathing fresh air, going to the gym, right?
Right.
So easy access. It's
I would assume that without a connection or having a safe space, though, you can only go so long with those filters.
Yeah, filters, and then also, and so totally true. You're again battling.
I'm not going. No matter how much filters, I'm still not beating Mike Tyson.
No, and I think that's important, because I haven't had, in all my years of my experience with teenagers and young adults, none of them have been able to overcome this long term without some form of a support system. The support system, especially when they are, they need tools to create safe space. And to be a place where they're not reprimanding or demeaning their child or their spouse for slipping up, but encouragement, support, long suffering, charity, right? It's important for them to be able to have those places. So they act as an extension of a conscience. Our conscience is compromised in those moments when we are vulnerable, and that's what a support system does. Whether it's drugs, alcohol, or sex, pornography, that type of thing, a support system acts as an extension of a conscience. They know better in those moments because I'm compromised, right? My ability to choose right and wrong has been compromised in those moments. And so I need that extension of support. And that's what a support system does.
Heightens a level of awareness for when
Yeah.
that person needs help.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's
so important.
Yeah.
So important. And I hope that whoever is watching this understands that ultimately you're going to need that support system.
Yeah.
Is what I'm getting from our conversation. Is you can only do so much when it comes to addictive substances
Right.
by yourself.
Right.
You can only go so far.
Yeah.
And I think the lesson there is the connection that we have with others is something so powerful.
Right.
It doesn't have to be in this setting of someone who just needs a support system, but I think just in general. I also come back to our culture, and I think we in the Polynesian culture do so well at connecting with others of all backgrounds, right? I think naturally in a room full of employees for a pre-shift meeting, if there's two polys in there, they stick out like a sore thumb.
Right.
Pretty much because they are just good vibes.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And I think that speaks volumes to us as a people, where we have that gift of connecting with so many others.
Yeah.
But again, I can't say this enough. I feel this is my own opinion. I just feel as though we take advantage of those gifts when it's convenient, and when it's not, all of a sudden we don't know how to use them anymore.
Yeah. I think that the emotional part of being is something that we're not necessarily comfortable with, right? I think we're not capable, or haven't been, we haven't been taught to be emotional beings, because a lot of times that there's a fear of hearing someone out, that they have an opinion that, or they're going through a difficult time and I don't know how to fix their issues. I'm uncomfortable. There's no solution to this, and in some aspects I'm also feeling like I could fail in helping.
Yeah.
And so and a lot of times it's not even, you don't have to do anything other than just listen. Empathy requires that you see and feel and hear what they're experiencing.
Yeah.
And that's a level of vulnerability that is so crucial in that connection. And I think maybe there is the disconnect with us as Pacific Islanders, is when it comes to our own children or to others that are closest with us, to let them just be themselves or share how they will, and not judge, demean, mock. That's another thing in our culture.
Or don't assume that you have to have the answers.
No,
either.
you don't have to have the answers, man.
Sometimes the answer is just you listen.
Listen. And a lot of times, I have to say this, even in therapy, a lot of times in engaging conversation, letting them talk and experience and process, they gain clarity. They decongest on an emotional and mental level, and they're able to find, they connect dots to how they should proceed life, or a solution to a situation. But they never would have gotten to that place unless they were able to talk.
Yeah.